Hey guys, Frank the Pest Geek here. Well, it's Tuesday. I've been traveling for an entire week training. I went on Tuesday over to, left Tuesday last week to Pest Management University to the master's class, the termite master's class, which was really good. It's basically a combination of the introduction to termites and WDO combined with more stuff that you didn't know. That's a grueling 2.5 days of studying there. And then I left Friday, so I got there Wednesday, obviously Wednesday night. I got there around 6:30 and then went to dinner with myself, I think. I can't remember now. And then Wednesday night, I went to dinner with Joe Jonovich. We got a podcast that we taped over dinner. So yes, there's going to be salad in our mouth and in our teeth when we're talking. It's kind of weird, but it works. Then on Thursday night, I went out with Sam Roman, Kid Romeo, who has a pest control and wildlife business in Orlando, and we were discussing SEO and social media and what I believe he should be doing based on his wrestler notoriety. I mean, the guy is built like a brick house, and he's, catches wildlife, and I think he should be doing YouTube videos about everything he does and capitalizing on that. Because he's got that look, he's dressed in black. The company name is Commando, Pest Control and Wildlife. He's wearing, military boots, and he's got the whole Billy the Exterminator with a, wrestler buff look. And I think he should be doing YouTube videos and TikTok and focusing on that to build his brand. Because it's a lot more than transaction about getting calls and leads. We discussed the SEO company he's with. They're sucking. He's looking to go with another, which is going to suck because he doesn't have the kind of money that you need to really do SEO. I've got this thing now that I'm following the trends in the industry and talking to people what they're paying for SEO and how happy they are with it. Most that I talk to are totally unhappy, but they went with the same mentality. I figured the number is somewhere between $500 and $700 a month that these companies have figured out that most pest control guys can afford. And they've sold a package they can afford. Unfortunately, it's going to take them 20 years to rank on Google at that rate that they're going. So they're going to get strung along. It's no different, guys. You've fallen for the same thing that the pest control industry, the customers have fallen for. I'll go with something I can low end, front end cost, and with a minimum viable service that just satisfies about 80% of people because they figured out where the sweet spot is to market to you. And you've fallen for the same thing everybody has fallen for. The reality is, unless you're paying $1,000 or $2,000 or $3,000 a month for real SEO, that produces two things: either calls, this is the matrix that you got to measure against. It's either going to produce calls or it's going to produce a form being filled out. But if you're looking at KPIs, what determines? Because you can't go to the bank with an SEO report and tell your lenders and all of the people that you owe money to, but look how great we're ranking on all these new keywords. It either produces leads or it doesn't. And SEO is about, it's slow. It's like barbecue. It's going to take a year or two. This idea that for $500 a month on SEO, you're going to rank on the first page of Google in a top 100 market is totally ludicrous. When I did some analysis for some people while I was there at the conference, and they're on the 7th, 8th page of Google, and they've been on it for a year. You're never going to rank. Where do you bury a body? Well, you bury it in the second page of Google. Why? Because nobody looks there. If you're not ranking in that 3-pack, in the maps, possibly in ads too, and ranking #1 on the first page of Google, you can, like they say in New York, forget about it. It ain't gonna happen. Yes, they're telling you you're ranking for, look at all the keywords you're ranking for. You were 10th and now you're #3. The problem is that keyword only brings in 10 clicks a month. 10 users a month are actually looking for it. What are the chances of you getting a click on it? So yes, you can be ranking for a keyword that nobody's really looking for. And then you're ranking for all these little keywords. That's a great strategy if you're going to rank for 1,000 keywords. When I look at your website, you're only ranking for 100 words, 75 words. You're getting 40 clicks a month. Dude, you're not going to make any money. You could have spent that for 40 clicks a month. You could have spent $500 on Facebook ads and gotten a better return. So if you're looking at building your brand because you're going to be a big brand in the market, that's one thing. If you're going to be the individual guy, why do you think I went with blogging and YouTube? Because I needed an ROI. It still took 2 years to rank everything. But every single month I was seeing the increase and I was seeing the calls. And after a year, it really took off. So you need to have this thing. That's also, you guys are so impatient. It's like working out. I was traveling all week. I haven't worked out all week. And I gained 4 pounds eating out because I'm burning through a ton of calories mentally, and I stress eat when I'm under so much. So I was eating more. I was eating breakfast, lunch, and dinner. When I'm at home, I only do 2 meals a day. I do brunch. I do 10 a.m. and 6 p.m. because I'm on 16/8 on my diet. So I only eat twice a day. I'm probably eating no more than 1,500 calories a day. And here I am eating 2,000 to 2,500 calories a day. And I'm not working out because I can't. It's too much. Trying to be there by 8 a.m. to the classes. You get out at 5:30. You feel like really running to go have a drink. I mean, it's like your brain is like, it's melting. So, this is how I feel. And so, and all weekend, I probably had 3 drinks all week. Especially, I probably had 2 or 3 over the weekend at the Paul J. Bello conference because I left the Orlando area, Apopka, and then I went over to Deerfield Beach, and that was Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. So I left there probably around Sunday night at 10. Afterwards, I went out about 6 o'clock and went out to dinner and had a burger and I had a beer, and then I hung around town for a little while and had a cigar. And probably left around 10 p.m., headed home, and got home around 10:30. So I left over there probably at 9:30 at night. And now I'm at the gym today, back to my routine. I couldn't go yesterday. I was wiped out yesterday. I woke up yesterday at 6 a.m., make sure all the routes were done, everything was done, made all the callbacks I needed to do, worked on a couple of things, and somehow around 10 a.m. it hit me. You haven't really slept. So I took a nap from like 12 to like 11 o'clock to like 1:30 in the afternoon. So I'm going to take a quick nap, 2-hour nap. I got up and started working again. And, then I'm back to my routine. Son at karate, homework, hanging with my daughter, back to that routine again. But man, is it grueling for me to travel. And so now I'm back at the gym today, full body workout. I'm changing up the routine a bit. I can't do that, man. I couldn't walk for 4 days after I did legs, that intense. I couldn't run. I couldn't jog. I'm here in class and I'm sitting for like 2 hours and my legs got numb after sitting for 8 hours a day. And every time I got up, I felt like I was a 9-year-old with a dirty diaper. That's how I was walking. So I'm changing up the routine to do a full body workout 3 times a week. And then that way I just do a full body lighter workout, not as intense. I'm not going to be a bodybuilder at my age. I just want to be in nice shape. I want to make sure I'm still building muscle, that I'm not atrophying muscle from getting older. But the whole idea of working out that hard, and then I'm going to do cardio in between. So tomorrow I'll do cardio. And then I'll do weights again, full body workout. And that's the routine I had probably when I was 25. It worked out for me. I kind of like that better. I've tried it like 6 different ways in the last, I don't know, 4 months that I've been working out. Tried it a bunch of different ways. It's just too intense. I got to be able to function and I just don't really enjoy working out that much. So to me, this is just like a necessary evil for me. It's kind of like the way I feel about pesticides. It's a necessary evil. Um, Pretty much all chemicals are. We don't really would need them if we didn't have a use for them. But we still got to have them. So that's what I'm trying to do now, is figuring out the routine and getting back into it. I say I need to lose about 6 pounds. So I've gained 4.5. I'm at 160 pounds now. And I know it's 160 pounds for me, but I see it around my gut, my little jelly belly. And I'm trying to get rid of all that visceral fat. I'm just trying to really want to get rid of that visceral fat around my sides, because that's what causes a lot of the problems in old age. The cancer, the colon cancer, a lot of the things, it's linked to visceral fat. So trying to get rid of it, and going to change it up this week again, but I'm back at it. I'm back at the gym, getting the workout. Today was about a 45-minute workout, full body. I did chest, back, legs, biceps, just mixing it up. Now I'll be doing a different routine when I come in, but I'll still be doing a whole body routine, seeing if that works better for me. And, the Paul Bello conference was pretty amazing. If you've never been to one, it is very different. It's not focused on pest control and pest control knowledge. It's focused on business development and how to be a better business person, and we had case studies this time. There were case studies that we worked in teams to solve the case study for the client. We were a consulting agency, and we were giving a client that had a specific problem, and how were we going to solve that and for the client, and had to look at everything about the business. We got to work in teams, which is really great. The great part of this is, a lot of the stuff you see on Facebook where people are so full of crap about what they talk about. These events are the top 1% of the industry that come here. I mean, you got to be serious about. Let me see, what time is it? Is it that time? Yeah, I got a 10 a.m. appointment. I got to record a podcast. It's going to be 9 now. I'm totally off on my time. Did I set that clock right? Did I set the clock? I think I did set the clock. Let me see something. Yeah, so it is 9 o'clock. I just, with the time change, I'm like, did I change my clock? And I'm looking at my car, and I got a 10 a.m. appointment. I'm thinking it's 10 a.m. already. But no, it's 9. So I'm going to head back to the office now, take a shower, and go have my 10 o'clock interview that I have for the podcast. But the Paul J. Bello conference and the PMU really is about the 1% in the industry. It's the guys who are really serious. And I got to sit around the table with brilliant people that, in their own right, everybody's got a different degree of brilliance. Some guys have built 30 tech companies, 30 technician companies. They have 30 employees, 40 employees, 20 employees. Man, do you learn a lot from these guys. I was both excited and humbled at the same time to see the amount of talent in that room, the cumulative talent. People that have been in pest control now 40 years. I mean, they started in 1970 something with their pest control company, and they've grown it to 5. Some of them are still 5 employees, but they're doing fine. They're doing $1 million plus a year, and they're happy with 5 employees. Other people are doing, $6-7 million a year, and they have 30 employees because of the markets they're in. So I learned, you can't measure it by one number and a certain amount of employees. I mean, in some markets, your employees are only going to produce 100,000 a year, 150,000 a year. Other markets, your employees are going to produce 300,000 a year. It depends on the market. It depends what you're able to charge. So it is talking to them and having the conversations, and guys who have been, you know, who are just legends in this industry were there. Alan Fuhr was there. Just humbling. It really was, to be in that room with guys who just started. Great Dane was there. He passed his ACE exam. You know, so Paul was doing the ACE prep and examination. So if you were going to become an ACE, you were able to do it there. Aaron Veal, who's an ACE, who's going to be on my podcast pretty soon. Just amazing. If you've got an opportunity, you know, I've been to Pest World, I've been to Expo. You don't get to have those conversations at Expo. You don't get the level of training, the level of deepness at Expo. Expo is more like a little bento box of little different things you get to sample, but not really getting to depth. Not like PMU, not like the Paul Bello conference. This is truly for the 1% of the industry. So if you want to be in the top 1%, I'd recommend you send your people to PMU, you attend the next Bello conference over at, I don't know where it's going to be yet. It's going to be sometime in October. Looking forward to it. Looking forward to really hanging out. Got some great interviews. From a lot of people that we talked about. You know, we've had some good interviews, some good content coming out from conversations that we were having. Got to enjoy a lot of cigars with a lot of guys. It was really fun. I must have taken, I don't know, I think I took like 24 cigars. I think I came back with 12, so that's good. So I was really happy we were able to hang out, talk, hammer some things out, you know, figure out what's working, what's not for a lot of us. It was really exciting. I really look forward to it. Those are the things we got to work out, man, the difficult things. And the Paul Bello conference makes you really uncomfortable. These are not conferences you go to be comfortable and get sunshine blown up your tailpipe. These are not motivational speeches. I had one meeting with a brother who's a brother in Christ who owns a business, and we were talking about his SEO, and I analyzed his site, analyzed what he's been spending for the last year, and I basically told him, dude, you're not getting anything. You wasted all this money. And as a consultant, I'm gonna rip that Band-Aid off really quickly, and I'm not, you know, he says, man, I'm so discouraged. I said, well, it's not about being discouraged, it's about terminating that contract and moving on, cutting your losses and investing it in something else that could work better for you. When you're spending $500-600 a month and you're a solo operator and you've been paying it for a year, that's $5,000-6,000, and then he paid it up front and got nothing in return, getting 40 clicks a month to his website. People don't understand. I mean, I get 6,000 clicks a month in the off season. That thing will go up to 17,000 in the summer. And we get about 120 calls a month on our SEO. You know, I spent 4 hours a day, 4 hours a night doing SEO for 3 years. Every single day doing video and doing blogging to create a site that by Google is an authority site about pest control. That's over 300 pages that I had to create in 3 years. So if you think you're gonna, you know, I was having the conversation, I said, you're paying $500 a month. So let's say the owner needs a 50% profit, gross profit, and he's subcontracting things out. How much time can you devote to a company, you being a pest control company, at $125, $100 an hour for $250 a month? That's only 2 hours, 2.5 hours a month. You think you're gonna get SEO for 2.5 hours a month of work? Because he has to sub it out, the writing, and he's getting one blog a month. Do you think you're going to rank in a top 100 market around the country with 12 blog posts a year when your competition has 150? Do you think if they're writing 2,000 words, you're going to rank on a 500-word blog post? Or you don't understand that SEO is a competitive sport? That you have to outdo your competition? That unless you're getting an SEO report saying, where are we ranking on these key terms? And how many keywords do we have? How many backlinks do we have? How many words are in that? If my competitor is writing 1,000 words, I got to write 1,250. People don't understand this about SEO. And they're getting taken for a ride. If every month your calls aren't increasing and your forms being filled out online, because everybody has a form, isn't getting a lead, and you're not getting the calls, and you're not getting a X return on your investment, where if you spend $20 of Facebook ads, are you getting 200 back? Between 6 and 10x. You know, if you're selling $200, $100, $165 initial services, and they're one time, you need to spend about $30 a lead. When you look at the cost of sale, you look at the cost of acquisition of those leads. Do you have a strategy? Because hope is not a strategy. And the problem is you don't understand these things. And because you don't understand these things, you get taken advantage of. Just like when you try to sit there and you try to explain to your customer integrated pest management and exclusion and prevention and mode of action and insect biology. Customer doesn't understand any of this. And therefore we've been able in the past to dupe the customer into thinking we were doing something so great when you were spraying chloridane back in the day. I think would kill just about anything. So what is it that this is why I'm doing this podcast. This is why I'm going to be hated by everyone around me, because I disclose the things you need to know to protect yourself. I'm about the end user, the client. The company needs to do a really good job at doing their job, not deceiving the customer, because you are willing to spend a maximum of 5. They created a minimum product that produces nothing for you except take your money. And when you ask them, how long before I rank on the first page of Google with what I'm spending? Ask them that hard question. When will I rank on the first page of Google spending $500 a month in SEO? How much return on investment will I be getting on this? How many calls will I expect? How many forms will I expect? They're going to say, I don't know. We can't. If you ask the hard questions, if you pin them up against the wall, knife to the throat, what's the real answer? And the reality is that they're behaving just like salespeople. They got salespeople that need to make a commission, need to close the sale. Just like pest control people you complain about door knockers going in, and all they got to do is get the sale. They could care less whether the company can control it or not, because they get paid on commission. You need to ask the hard questions. You need to be asking the hard questions about what it is that they're going to return for you. And when a company tells you you're going to get a 600 return on your investment, a 6x return on your investment, which is what you need on marketing. But you need to be willing to spend the money to test. Are you willing to do A/B split testing? When I talk to people about A/B split testing ads, they have no clue what I'm talking about. You need to get educated on marketing, on social media marketing. Here's the problem. It takes hours. If you're going to do YouTube videos, you need to spend about 8 to 10 hours of listening to YouTube videos about SEO, about video production, about video. You need to put in about 40 hours of education. Are you going to put in 40 hours of education over the next 2 to 3 weeks to educate yourself about YouTube videos? And then do the same thing with Facebook, and then do the same thing with TikTok and do the same thing with Twitter and do the same thing with Instagram? Are you going to invest in the next year 200 hours to understand how to market across all of these platforms in education? This is what the customer is not willing to do. Your customer is not going to read the ACE manual. He's not going to read Malice. He's not going to be reading Purdue Pest Management. He's going to the blogs and people telling him that you can put, mint leaves all over the house and get rid of bugs. Same thing. There's no difference. And you complain about your customers, how ignorant they are. This is what they're hiring you for. And yet you're complaining that you don't know anything about SEO but you're not willing to spend the time. You're not willing to spend the time in the gym to get rid of the fat, get rid of the muscle, and build the muscle. You want it just to be miraculous. You want to drink a pill. This is the same thing. You're not willing to put in the time to educate yourself, so you're getting taken for a ride, and then you're saying all these SEO companies are ripoffs. Well, buyer beware. It's your fault. It's your fault because you're not willing to pay the price because you're too busy. You're not willing to pay the price to educate yourself on HR and recruiting and how to properly hire. Then you're complaining that you're getting all these crappy people interviewing and applying, not even showing up. Whose fault is that? That's your fault. See, you want to go to a conference to be motivated. Motivation is temporary. You need facts. You need to rip off the Band-Aid. You need to get off this thing, well, you hurt my feelings because you're not telling me what I want to hear. I make a sucky consultant because I'm not diplomatic. I'm ripping off the Band-Aid. Hey, listen, bro, you just got your leg blown off by a landmine, and we need to amputate right now in the field, and there's no options. My job as a consultant, as a podcaster, as what I do in business, is to figure out where the landmines are to keep you from getting your legs blown off. If you want to feel good about it and you want to have somebody give you a little pep talk and motivate you and how great this is going to be, and when we get our SEO done, you're going to be so rich and you're going to be and watch how you're going to be going to the bank with all this money, you're full of crap. That's the problem. We want to be coddled. We don't want to be told the truth because it's so discouraging to know the truth. We rather have an illusion that isn't going to happen and keep putting money into it when it isn't going to happen. And instead of actually figuring out what it really takes to make it happen. Like, you don't want to hear you got to work 80 hours a week to make your business successful. Chances are you're going to have to for a while. You're going to have to educate yourself. You need to listen to good people. But you need to spend the time, invest the time. If you want to start doing SEO for your company next year, I suggest you start putting in about 60 to 70 hours of educating yourself on what SEO is. The content is out there. It's all free. The problem with free content is you got to figure out which is the good content and which isn't. What's pretty good? I'd listen to Neil Patel, but you're going to have to listen to about 30, 40, 50 videos to get all of it because he only drops nuggets. Everybody's going to drop nuggets. Very few times you're going to go into a podcast like mine where I just go, blah, and I give it to you. I don't give you nuggets. I don't keep you string along. I give you all of the content, everything I know. Figure it out if you can absorb it or not while it oozes out of your ears, and deal with it. Listen to it again. Listen to it 5 times until you get it. This is what we're experiencing in all areas. People want pills. People want instant. People want instant gratification. They don't want to wait for it. I'm playing the long game. And the reason I'm worrying about the long game, about the branding, is because that's what I believe in. So it's going to take me longer. It's going to be shorter for me. It's going to be slower, but I've accepted that. I'm not growing as fast as 50% a year. I only want to grow as fast as 25% max. In 1 year, I can probably afford to grow 50%, but I don't want to grow 100. That's crazy. But I'm playing the long game. And so since I'm playing the long game, I have the patience to build out infrastructure and brand, because brand is more important than ads. Ads will give me an instant result. There are times when I need that boost. But I'm in a niche market. I'm in a real USP. I'm in a 1% game. I'm going after that 1% of the market that wants what I have. Not everybody. And I don't care that I grow faster or slower than anybody else. I'm growing at the pace that I need to grow. So this is the stuff we got to work out, guys. This is what we have to do to figure it out. I got a lot of stuff on SEO coming out to help protect you, but the reality is you're going to have to invest in yourself. You're going to have to invest in putting those hours in and watching videos on how to do on-page SEO. And there's like 20 parts to it. I've done a couple. I've done them. They're 4 years old. Nothing's changed. Oh, you got anything updated? Nothing's changed. Go listen to that one from 4 years ago. Content is still king. Good copy is still king. You know, you have to have good grammar and all that. I don't have good grammar. But copy is king. Content is king. You got to write good, convincing material that's solid. So when you have to write a 2,000-word blog, that's going to take 4 hours to SEO and write and do latent semantic indexing and doing competitive keyword analysis on what you're going to write about. Have you built out a page with 200 keywords that you're going to target this year? If you haven't, how are you going to get it done if you don't have a plan? What, are you going to write every night and wing it? No, you need to have a plan. You need to sit down and say, these are the top 200 keywords I want to rank for. Start writing content against that. Write good content. You need to understand the structure of a page. H tags, H1 tags, H2 tags. No more than 1% of keyword, because then it's keyword stuffing. You need to do latent semantic indexing. You need to have one good link out attached to that. Those are 5 things right there that you need on a page. Oh, I'm going to buy this app called Yoast and it's going to help me rank. No, it's not. It's going to help you put the stuff in the right place. That's all the plugins do that. Google crawls the page, and the Google bots crawl the page and determine if your content and your structure was correct. And they can read that page and you tell them what it's about. And they can read the page and they can say, his content is better than this guy's content. Let's rank this one above his. It's competitive sport. If you're not competitive and you're not going to beat out your competition and you're not going to be fanatical about beating out your competition, you're not going to win. You got to do training on SEO. You know, I took a 1-day course, which I'm planning to bring because that thing was so powerful. I did it 6 years ago. I took a 1-day course where I went to an office where they taught a 1-day course on SEO and everything I needed to do to SEO. And that's all I did. And I ranked. That's how I'm ranking today. Nothing's really changed that much. People say, oh, well, the rules and the algorithm. Yeah, the algorithms have changed to filter out all the crap. But if you, it's like fundamentals in IPM. If you inspect, if you monitor, if you exclude, if you understand insect biology, you understand the label, you're going to be able to control that pest. Fundamentals. Get the fundamentals right. Get the basics right. Fundamentals of diet. Don't eat bad stuff. And work out. What? 2 steps. Don't eat bad stuff and work out. You want to drink Coke all day and drink, 100, 200 grams of sugar a day? Don't ask why you're fat. You want to eat cake all day? And you want to eat sugar and you want to eat carbs all day? You don't want to eat salads? You don't want to eat good lean meats? You don't want to be on keto because it's too hard, I can't do keto? You don't want to go work out? You want to sit there for 4 hours a day watching television and playing video games? Don't complain about why you're out of shape and why you're fat. It's kind of like when your wife asks you, honey, does this dress make me look fat? No, honey, your fat makes you look fat. You don't want to say that. You're not getting any for the next year. So, what gives? This is the stuff we need to do, guys. We need to get the fundamentals, understand them. The information is out there, free information. Pay for a course. Pay $400, $500, $600 for a course to get educated. Oh my God, I'm going to pay $500 for a course. That's a ripoff. That information is on the internet. It's free. Yeah, but it's going to take you 80 hours to find it. Pay for the course. You guys, sometimes I don't get you. You'll complain about everybody ripping you off and then you won't pay to get yourself educated. I got to go because I got a meeting in about 40 minutes. I still need to take a shower. Even though it's a video meeting and nobody's going to smell my sweat. I still need to take a shower. So, guys, have a pistacular day.